Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we turn confusing corporate filings into cash, or at least into digestible insights. Today, we're diving into Pelican Acquisition Corporation's latest report, and let's just say it involves Greenland, potential deals, and some interesting media attention. Before we jump in, if you love getting the real story behind company news without all the jargon, smash that subscribe button. And hey, we have a fantastic community over on Discord where we break down these filings even further, so check out the link in the description below. So what is the big deal with Pelican's latest filing? It seems like they're making moves, and some pretty big media outlets are talking about them. We're talking about a potential business combination that involves Greenland, and a company called March Giel. It is like a geopolitical chess match meets a business deal, and we're here to decode it for you. Alright, let's get to the heart of it. Pelican Acquisition Corporation is essentially a company that has been set up to acquire or merge with another company. Think of them as a blank check company looking for the right opportunity, and it looks like they found one, or at least they're talking about one. This report highlights a couple of really interesting media mentions. First up, back on the 7th of January, Barron's published an article titled "Trump Wants Greenland, Why He May Be Overestimating Its Value." This article, which you can read if you subscribe, talks about the strategic and resource possibilities in Greenland. And guess who is quoted? Mr. Robert Price from the March Giel company. Now, why is this important? It tells us that the story around Greenland's potential, especially with prominent figures like Mr. Trump showing interest, is a big part of the narrative for companies like March Giel and Pelican. Then, just a few days later on the 12th of January, Yahoo Finance jumped in with an article called "Greenland Looks Like Trump's Next Geopolitical Priority." It could also be the oil industry's next great hope. Again, Mr. Robert Price from March Giel is featured, this time talking about energy development in Greenland. This connects the geopolitical interest directly to potential business opportunities, specifically in the energy sector. And to top it off, on the very same day, Yahoo Finance released a video. This video actually mentions the business combination we're here to talk about. It specifically names March Giel Pelican Acquisition Corporation, Greenland Exploration Limited, and another entity called Pelican Holdco Incorporated, or PubCo. So the media pickup is not just about Greenland's potential, it is directly linking it to this specific deal. Now, the document also clarifies some important legal points. It states that this information is not considered filed in a way that would make them liable for certain sections of the law, and it won't be automatically included in future filings. They're being careful about what they're officially putting on record. Pelican has filed something called a registration statement on Form S-4. Think of this as a super detailed prospectus that lays out all the nitty-gritty about this business combination. It contains information for Pelican shareholders who will be voting on this deal. They're urging everyone to read this document carefully because it has all the important details about Pelican, Greenland, March Giel, and PubCo. They also remind you that you can get copies of this registration statement free of charge from the US Securities and Exchange Commission's website. Then there is a section about who might be involved in asking Pelican shareholders to vote. They mention that Pelican, Greenland, March Giel, and PubCo, along with their directors and officers, could be considered participants. They refer you to Pelican's previous filings like their quarterly reports for more background on these individuals and their interests. This is standard procedure to ensure transparency about who is influencing shareholder decisions. Now, this next part is crucial, and it is something you'll see in almost every filing like this. They include a section on forward-looking statements. This is basically a legal disclaimer. They're saying that any statements in this report that talk about the future, like projections, plans, or expectations, are just that, statements about the future. They are based on current information and assumptions. But they can't guarantee that these future events will actually happen. They're telling you not to rely too heavily on these forward-looking statements, because real-world results could be very different. They list a bunch of risks and uncertainties, like whether the business combination will actually happen, potential legal issues, changes in market conditions, and even the possibility of shareholders redeeming their shares, which could impact the deal. It is a long list of what-ifs designed to protect the company from lawsuits if things don't go as planned. And they wrap up this part by saying this report isn't an offer to sell or buy any securities. It is just providing information about the business combination. They're being very clear that this document isn't a sales pitch, and any actual offers will be made through a proper prospectus. Finally, we get to the exhibits. This is where they list the documents they're including with this report. Exhibit 99.1 is indeed the Barron's article we mentioned earlier, and Exhibit 99.2 is the Yahoo Finance article from the 12th of January. Then there is Exhibit 104, which is the interactive data file for the cover page, a standard requirement for electronic filings. So, what is my take on all this? Well, Pelican Acquisition Corporation seems to be aligning itself with a very topical and potentially lucrative narrative. Greenland's resources and the geopolitical interests surrounding it. The fact that multiple major news outlets are covering this and quoting key figures from March Giel and mentioning the business combination suggests there is real momentum, or at least a strong PR push behind this deal. The risks outlined are pretty standard for this type of transaction. Especially for a special purpose acquisition company or SPAC, the biggest question mark is whether the deal will actually go through to completion. The mention of shareholder redemptions is a red flag, as high redemption rates can kill these deals. Also, the success of Greenland and March Giel after the combination is a huge unknown, especially in a potentially volatile sector like energy in a developing region, like Greenland. From a Warren Buffett perspective, I'd want to see a lot more tangible financial data from the actual operating companies, March Giel and Greenland Exploration Limited. This filing from Pelican is more about the transaction itself and the media buzz. We need to see their actual revenues, profits, assets, and liabilities to truly assess their long-term viability. The media attention is certainly a positive for generating interest, but it doesn't guarantee success. The strategy seems to be leveraging the Greenland opportunity and the current geopolitical excitement. The main weakness is the lack of concrete financial performance of the target companies publicly available in this specific filing. A major opportunity is the potential resource wealth of Greenland, but the risks are significant, including political instability, environmental concerns, and the sheer logistical challenges of operating there. Overall, this filing tells a story of a SPAC actively pursuing a merger against a backdrop of significant international interest in Greenland's resources. The future direction hinges entirely on the successful execution of this business combination and the subsequent operational success of the combined entity. It is a high-risk, potentially high reward play, but we'll need to see much more financial detail to make a solid investment call. Alright, that is our deep dive into Pelican Acquisition Corporation's latest report. What do you think about the Greenland opportunity and this potential business combination? Are you excited about the prospects, or do you see the risks outweighing the rewards? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button. It really helps us out. And don't forget to subscribe for more corporate decoding. And hey, join us over on Discord in the description for even more in-depth discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.